And we are underway then. First game up, CTF on Catalyst, shields up, weapons hot, and we're straight into the thick of it then over on gold side. Suppressed, taking down to half shields, but immediately we're going to see this player back up and get himself out of dodge and over towards the spike grenade. The war early doors, 2 members go down for G2 and Spacestation come out on top in the early engagements.
SSG already getting first flag pull. This is what we wanted to see. Suppress starting off with that huge double and now grabbing that flag already past the 50% portion of the map. SSG looking very clean in the early game, and now we're going to see KotH double back, support his overshield player. A double kill now by Ace, and there should be nothing stopping SSG from running this home. Oh, excuse me. G2 is still there.
Nothing stopping them. As a matter of fact, a lot stopping them. We see G2 in full force trying to get that stop, and have they been successful? Tylenul still has his hands on it and prepared to punch in, but he gets stopped right at the flag podium. Finally gets punched in, and Space Station draw first blood here in game 1.
First blood being drawn, and we know that the wound has been created. Now onto G2, and now we're going to see if SSG can open it up and ultimately come out on top. 1-0 lead, like you said. We have KotH coming out over towards the top mid side, providing a little cover fire, but now gonna bounce back and push a 1-2 combo with Suppressed. These are coming with the bait and switch, able to take down Barcode right off the rip, and that's exactly what SSG need in order to grind forward.
How do G2 respond then after going down really early? Before that second overshield had even popped up, we get a nice flag cap. Quick, early, Sabinater. He gets eliminated. Overshield's about to pop once more. This one could be big, choosing the destiny of the next flag cap. That much is for damn sure. We're seeing bodies hitting the floor, left, right, and center. Space Station down to just 1 member. Now almost back to a full complement, but here comes the G2 push, and no doubt they'll be looking to pick up overshield, and attention's now turned to it. Ace over towards his own flag, taken down to half shields. He has to back away. He has to step back, and overshield will get scooped up and into the chest.
And that was huge for G2, winning the Slays battle right as Overshield is coming up, and now we got to see them get aggressive here, and as that happens, Sab ends up being taken down. Space Station Gaming doing a great job of clearing out their base, but there's more G2 members looking to get aggressive.
Aggression is the name of the game. What can Sab do to push his team forward, get themselves right back into things? Tylenul, as he now heads up towards the opposing enemy flag. Player down to no shield. It's an easy kill. Onto Suppressed. And 3 go down now for G2. And Space Station, they're cooking. And they're firing all cylinders. But now, honors even. It's a 2-on-2 split on the map.
Space Station Gaming definitely winning the Slays battle. And ultimately with that, they now have the opportunity to get aggressive. Sab going to quickly take height here. As we have Tylenul trying to fight out of the base, the damage comes in. Tylenul now going to be forced to back down, but being hunted down by Sab. And with that, 2 members of SSG on the black screen. Ace and KotH are trying to rotate back over toward the flag side, but it's not going to be enough. We see a counter pull coming in out of SSG, looking to put their second on the board.
And looking through the eyes and ears of Sabinater as he hits the respawn screen now. 2 go down, but it's G2 on that push have lost 3 members. Make it 4. Space Station Gaming stand strong. They defend well. And this has been really impressive so far from Space Station.
Sab going to show us the entire sandbox here, whipping out the Pulse Carbine. Weapon going to be absolutely deadly, especially from range. And we're going to see if he gets value out of this one. But hold on, nobody home here for G2. Finally able to find one. KotH does a great job of staying alive, pushing toward the Bruce. The Nays going to try to finish him off. Finally, KotH goes down. Sab not able to get the trade. So another 3v3 scenario. Both of these teams trying to fight for that control.
Now, Barcode, overshield into his chest. A lot of expectation on this young man's shoulders. First time playing in a North American tournament. What can he do then? Straight off the boat, off the plane, and into the high-octane action against some of the best players in the game. Gets a double kill. That'll do his confidence the world of good. And already top slaying on his team. Barcode looking to do a lot of business here this weekend and trying to drive his team forward. The X Factor he was called, and he needs to be. Because G2 right now find themselves down by 1.
Barcode not only leading the Slays like you were mentioning before, but also leading the assist as well. But now we're on board with Gilkey having that sword wants to try to push up, wants to try to create an opportunity, but SSG are still doing a great job of defending their base. Suppressed off the screen, taking down Barcode, putting his 13th on the board, make it 14th after getting a double kill, and now Gilkey trying to get it toward the base. KotH watching over towards the mid. I love the aggression coming out of G2, but it's just not converting, at least not yet.
Gilks trying to stay alive behind enemy lines. Contemplating getting a flag touch, but he's got two members of Spacestation to contend with, and Tylenul hits the respawn screen for the 9th time, having a bit of a struggle, but his team are in the lead here. 2 kills and 9 to 9, and we'll keep a close eye on him, as Tony expected him to be one of the difference makers, one of the top fraggers for his team. It is not going his way early doors here, but still plenty of time to turn his fortunes around. Now on board with Sabinater. Skewer in hand, looking to make some kebabs, but unfortunately for him, there's no meat doing. Spacestation remain on top here, and they're keeping it nice and scrappy, and G2 maybe not expecting that.
Definitely not, as G2 going 3 down. Sab, the first one to spawn. It's up to him to try to stop the push that's ultimately going to be coming from Spacestation Gaming. KotH gets towards the mid-map. The nade's going to do more damage to himself than the opposition, and KotH takes advantage of that. Half of the members of G2 now on the black screen. SSG starting to cook with that fire you were talking about before.
SSG going up through the gears, looking to double their lead here. 2 go down once more. 3 for G2. This is the opportunity for Spacestation to get that other flag on the move, and they oblige very, very quickly. Can they stop the overextensions here, though? They've lost 2 members in the process. KotH might have a tough ask on his hands here, waiting for his teammates to spawn back up. Tylenul looking to provide that cover fire. Will it be enough for KotH to punch this flag in? A lot of pressure being applied by G2, and Spacestation trying to back down. They lose 2 members, and perhaps the flag's in danger of a counter cap opportunity here.
On board now with Zab, going to try to make a run here, clearing out the skewer side of the map, and that flag is on the move. Barcode going down to 1 shot, so we have to hesitate a bit, and with that momentary lapse of timing, SSG are going to push right up from the flank side, right into his blind side. Tylenul gets a double kill. G2, we're on a roll, able to get that flag over towards the mid-map. SSG respond back, and now somehow we have a 1v1 on the screen. It was Barcode versus Ace, and it looks like Ace was able to get the return.
Map reset for a moment then. After that skirmish, Spacestation threatening to double their lead. G2 cling on though, make sure it remains a 1-cap game. But Spacestation have been so impressive. You talked about suppressed. You expected them to perform well. 17 kills, 7 assists, and 11 deaths. He's performing admirably here for his team.
And this is where SSG are truly dangerous. Like we talked about before, Tylenul coming out of Kansas City was the leading slayer of this roster. He was first in every single category. As of right now, he's at the bottom of the list, and SSG still have 1-0, and that's because everybody is stepping up. You have Suppressed with 17 kills, like you mentioned before. Even the veteran Ace is doing this thing with 17. As of right now, G2 going 3 down and are feeling the constant pressure that SSG are able to create.
Last time we checked in with Tylenul overshield in his chest, he was 2-9. He has restored some of that strength to his team now. 9 kills, 7 assists, and 14 deaths. He has eaten away at that deficit and starting to be a bit more of a factor on the map for his team. And can he utilize this overshield to double their score? Because not only will that 1-0 lead do them the world of good, time is starting to play a factor now, Tony. 3 minutes and 30 on the clock. They can, if they choose to, just try and play that time.
Not able to get much value off of this overshield as Barcode gets a double kill, and that's going to lead to a pull going in favor of G2. So a bit of a standoff here, but SSG are a bit slow to respond. Tylenul needs to get a slay, and this overshield is being tagged away, is being stripped away of all of that extra shields. Ends up finding 2, though. Straysick has to go for the challenge.
Oh.
The bait and switch comes in. Beautifully played by Sab and Straysick to be at a disadvantage, but to make a play. And now we're seeing Sab try to use the sword, but it's not going to be enough. SSG come in and wipe G2 4 down.
The sword player running at you full steam ahead. You use the repulsor, and all of a sudden you see a grapple come out, and you're sweating just a little bit off the top of your brow, but they've managed to handle Sab on that occasion and ensure that they keep a hold of this 1-0 lead, which could be detrimental to the health of G2 if they do not get a boogie on. They've been unable to figure out what to do just yet, but that sword gets the job done. Second time of asking. 2 dead for G2. And Spacestation really going through the gears right now.
This is a different SSG squad that we've seen right now. This looks like a well-practiced, a well-oiled machine. This is an SSG that I had thought this was what they were going to look like in the beginning, and they haven't. But now they have bounced back. They are here. They are upset, and it looks like they were taking it out on G2. SSG absolutely controlling the map, but somehow still only up 1-0. Let's keep that in mind. G2 still have a little bit less than 2 minutes of regulation to make a comeback here. SSG looking great in the slays and maybe overslaying, but I want to see that at least be a 2-0 or 3-0 lead with the way they've been looking.
This could be the final opportunity then for G2 with only a minute and 30 and a little bit of change left in the clock. Barcode has already lost a teammate in Sabinater. Make it 2 as it's a 2v2 now on the map. Gilkey and Straight Stick up against Suppressed and Ace for a moment. Sword is influential once more. Gilkey charging in, but he does not have the support required from the rest of his teammates. Those grenades will clear him all the way out. Space Station survive once more with just a minute left to hold on.
Not only surviving, but they're thriving right now, Shurzy. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of SSG. And now we're seeing almost a minute of like a Slayer 2.0 from SSG, because they're just going to look to stop G2 from coming off. But Barcode going around the map with the grapple, a huge play to pull the flag. High risk, high reward. We're going to see if it pays off as Suppressed puts him down to one shot with the green gun. Barcode. I seen it done in matchmaking. I do it myself all the time. I didn't think I'd see it at this level of competition.
Barcode soaring through the air, almost like he did coming from the A and Z region. But he has to now try and be in effect once more, push on that base, because that flag pull has not borne much fruit. They have got the flag on the move now. This will be the last chance, the last opportunity, and Ace trying to stop that flag has been successful in just stopping it in his tracks with the use of that sword. Barcode prioritizing getting the touch, but Ace turns around and bites off a little bit more of Barcode, takes a chunk out of him. 4 up for Space Station now. The return will come through, and I tell you something, Space Station are so close to getting this one, but somehow G2 have gotten a touch.
3v3 scenario, both of these teams fighting for that control. KotH ends up going down. That's gonna be huge for G2, but the follow-up coming out of SSG on board now with Tylenul, who gets naded out thanks courtesy to Straight Stick, and now this flag is going forward, but the overshield ends up in the hands of G2. That can be the difference maker.
Overshield beats rock, paper, and scissors. Gonna jump and dive on that return, and at the last possible moment, they've tied up 1-1. We're going into overtime, Tony.
G2 clutching it out when it matters most. We talked about how great SSG were looking, but it only, even though they were slaying and winning the slays battle drastically, it only converted to one objective time. That's not going to cut the mustard. G2 were able to clutch it out in the final seconds, and now we're here in overtime, and now all that momentum that was built up by Space Station Gaming has just been diminished. At this point, it is gone. G2 are looking great. G2 are now in the driver's seat.
Will Space Station's head dip? Will the wind be taken out of their sails? G2 with the final throw of the dice. Got the job done. They threatened on a couple of occasions, as did Space Station. Tony rightfully says we're in the driving seat for large portions of this game. But how is their mettle? How is the bottle now? Mentally, are they feeling a little bit sorry for themselves? The G2 been able to not only knock on that door, but kick it straight in and send us to overtime. KotH, the last man standing on the map, and all of a sudden G2 have full numbers advantage, and they're descending on the base. The press back base will be absolutely lit up. Ace tries to throw a few denial nades, but he's not long for this world. Jumping up and down to no shield. Straight Stick will get that finish. Defense standing not strong enough this time, and G2 have another flag on the move.
Multiple forward downs going in favor of G2, and that's going to lead to that flag moving toward the 50% portion of the map. Bit of repulse play to get it just a bit further. And now we're going to see if G2 can run this home. There should be some overextenders coming in from SSG. No, they were met. Every overextender was taken down, and nobody in position to even get a shot off on that flag before going in. G2 getting back-to-back caps, which is going to be good enough to take game number 1 in the series.
G2 against the run of play, it must be said, for large portions of that game, Tony. They come out on top, and is this that old kryptonite you spoke about for Space Station? Is that creeping in once more? They were playing so well in game 1, but somehow find themselves in the back of a loss.
That was all SSG. That was all SSG. Throughout regulation, I mean, you cannot slay that hard and only get 1 cap. I hate to bring it up again, but you almost outplayed the entire G2 roster with just 2 players, Suppressed and Ace. That's how good they were looking, and you allowed G2 to clutch it out in the final seconds and be as objective efficient as possible, and then go into overtime. And quite frankly, I didn't see life out of that Space Station Gaming roster. In that overtime, we did not see them start off the same way they started regulation. G2 shaking off the rust, clutching it out, and now they're up 1-0 in the series. How is this going to play to SSG's mental?
That was the worry. That was the fear. Did the heads go down? They knew they were so close to taking game 1. But G2, you rightfully say, shook off the rust, and will they now go from strength to strength? Was that the opportunity for Space Station, like we said, to plant that seed before the series even started? But they find themselves now down 1-0 when rightfully they should find themselves 1 to the good. Looking at that Carnage report then, Sab 18 and 24 with 15 assists, but we talked about Barcode, the pressure that was on his shoulders, and he top fragged once more, 26 kills for his team, but only going positive too. And you spoke about it, they got heavily outslayed but still won the game. Space Station have a lot of work to do here, Tony.
The seed's been planted by G2, like you said. They're up 1-0 in the series, and now we're going to find out what SSG are truly made of. We're going to find out, I say it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a flower in a war. So SSG, you need to come out. You need to come out strong in this game number 2. Treat this game number 2 like it's a game 5, because the last thing you want to do is lose even more momentum going into that game 3. You have to make your stance right here, right now, and put up a fight here on the streets.
Confirmation of how it's shooken out then. 2-1. CTF Catalyst goes in favor of G2. Slayer Streets, like Tony rightfully says, is up next, and something I expect to see that we've seen at Kansas City is Barcode has this strategy. If they spawn up top of streets, he likes to go into tires and shoot the spike grenades for any player trying to onrush the shotgun. I'm wondering if he'll try and employ the same tactics here as he did for the Chiefs. We'll have to wait and see, but expectations now. We've seen Space Station heavily outslay G2. We now go into a Slayer. Is this in their hands, or Tony, do you think mentally they might crumble after that game 1?
I think SSG needed a mental reset, and as of right now, we have a little bit of a break coming from game number 1 to game 2. I'm sure Elamite's in the ear saying, hey, look, we slayed so hard in that game number 1. It's only if we keep that same energy going into game 2, we're going to come out on top. That's simple as that. Suppressed and Ace were winning every single individual pivotal battle. KotH was coming in a bit hot towards the second half of that game as well. And then you have Tylenul, who, like I said before, the leading Slayer, the main Slayer from Kansas City for this roster, that 1.74 KD that he pulled off. If he just bounces back a little bit in this game too, SSG should be able to easily take this over G2 and tie up the series. At least that's what I'm hoping. Like I said, Jersey, I want to see a game 5.
Yep, we are greedy, we are selfish. We want these games to go as long as possible. We want to see as much Halo as possible. Something SSG done very well in the last game was securing those power-ups, and Barcode has done exactly what I thought he was going to do and managed to secure himself a kill onto KotH. If only people had done their homework. I told you it was going to happen, Tony. It was going to happen.
Drop ball going to come in from G2 to cover that middle angle. Gilkey on screen now, putting the shots over towards Tylenul. Tylenul KotH working together over towards the cafe side of the map, but Tylenul Suppressed getting back-to-back kills. Gilkey on screen trying to slow them down, but Space Station Gaming are running over G2 on the purple side.
They have secured the rockets. Gilkey gets himself out of dodge after hearing that boombox play a tune that he's not quite a favor of, and Elamite, front base, uses that sentinel beam, fries the shields, and ultimately his team are on hand to get the kills, but we're all tied up in the early engagement, 6 kills to 6, and Space Station now spawn down low and have to fight their way back up and into the map, and Barcode and his team have got map position and map control, but there's the opening pick going in their favor for SSG. Suppressed opens the door now, numbers advantage, but he has been traded out in the end. It's a 3-on-3, but SSG look to force push over towards Arcade. Bulldog in the back pocket of Barcode. He whips it out, takes down KotH, and somehow escapes for his life, but it's only for a moment. 10-10, we're all tied up.
G2 able to bounce back and find the slays that they need. Barcode already sitting with 5 at the moment. Suppress able to get away with that Stalker rifle. I talked about how smooth and how centered Suppress shot is. It's very fundamental. I think it works well with the Stalker rifle, and that's exactly what he has in hands. You're seeing a 3-man push over toward the B side, and Suppress covering them from range with the red gun.
Suppress plants his feet then with the Stalker rifle, waiting for a member of G2 to step into his crosshairs. Nothing doing just yet. Rockets have popped up. These kills are going to be very, very important to see who dictates the pace and who can secure the rockets. They have been picked up, but only for a moment. KotH was the first one to put his body on the line, and that might have been a mistake as Slays go left, right, and center. 2 down for Spacestation. That could open the door now for G2 to secure the rockets for themselves, and that will be the second successive rockets in their control. Suppress still has a Stalk rifle, but been unable to really put it to use until this very moment. Takes Gilkey down to 1 shot over towards the generator and Cafe, but he scrambles away with his life, and Suppress locks in 1 onto Sab. Red gun once more will come out. Tylenul on hand to help secure those kills. It's 17-17. Now G2 just get the lead, but can they now build upon it? Bulldog in the hands of Straight-Sick.
Straight-Sick able to get the double with the Bulldog, but can't find the third. That's going to be Ace. That's going to shut him down. And now it's Ace and KotH. It's their responsibility to stop Space Station Gaming from pushing toward the purple side. 3 down, go SSG. G2 not only able to grab the rockets, but able to get value out of them, gaining a 3-kill lead.
Barcode again, showing exactly why the team have put faith in him to be the difference maker. 9 kills, 5 assists, and 6 deaths. Once more, top fragging for his team. Sabinater, though, in PD, looking for the handcuffs to put Space Station into jail. Tylenul picks up 1 over towards the Cafe. Takes his kill to go, though, as he hits the respawn screen. Suppressed last man standing, 25 kills to 23. G2 have a lead, but it's only a slender one. And by no means is this game done and dusted just yet. 3 kills, though. They're now starting to grow in confidence. They have map control once more. Sandbox starting to be dictated now. Barcode has the drop shield, and he's looking to employ it over by the rocket side. As his team have top control once more. He throws that drop shield. It does pop up. Suppressed takes that fight on, though, and somehow comes out on top. And 2 go down for G2, and that might open the door for Rockets.
SSG trying to bait out this Rockets all the way down from the subway side of the map. Meanwhile, Straight-Sick trying to get right into the action with that Bulldog. Whips it out. Tylenul gonna go down, and that's another 3 down for SSG. They are bleeding resources. That's rolling downhill. G2 are taking control.
G2 putting SSG in some uncomfortable positions, taking them into deep water now. What was a 2-kill game is now a 6-kill game, as they continue to try and push themselves even further ahead. But just like that, SSG answered back, but Straight-Sick, something the man has always had, is a shot he very rarely misses. Perfect kill for him will extend their lead once more to 4. Again, though, SSG lock up 2 in the kill feed. Ace and KotH combine to cut that deficit now down to 3. And Straight-Sick has dropped down, but it's only to his demise. Now just 2 kills. G2 require 15 to close out this game. SSG have hung on in there, but can they go one further? Can they tie this series up?
Sab on screen, able to Sab to create those openings, to be that entry frag player, to open up the entire map for the rest of his team. And now we're seeing that here as Stalker Rifle comes in, ends up getting himself a quick assist, putting his 11th kill on the board, by the way. This is exactly what you wanted to see out of G2. 2-kill lead going into the end game. We saw how clutch they could be in game number 1. Now we're going to see if they can replicate that and close once again onto SSG.
The pace of the game has totally shifted now. Both these teams recognizing that one mistake, one misplay could spell the end for their team. They could throw the map away. Ace with the spiker grenade gets a kill onto Barcode. Numbers advantage for a moment then for SSG, and that will mean Rocket scooped up for KotH. Can he get away with his life? Yes, he can. He rounds the corner in towards Cafe then. And the team hunting in a pack. It's a 3-man rotating around the back of tower. They've met up with a teammate now. And it looks as though the call has come. We are going to control the arcade side with these rockets. Boom, connects with 1. Straight-Sick hits the respawn screen. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered now for Space Station. Another one goes in to the tram station, but it does not connect. But they are descending now. Bulldog in the hand. Can it get 1? Yes, it can. And KotH expertly Manages to get away, but it's only for a moment though. 37, make it 40 to 41. It's a triple kill for Barcode, and he restores parity, but we're all tied up.
Barcode scanning the opposition. It's gonna cost them this game as Barcode comes in, teaching him, saying, I am not only the best in ANZ, but I'm coming for that NA title. The body disrespect is in. He's 14 and 11, 7 assists, and already feeling confident after 2 games.
Every time the young man gets a kill, you might hear an audible beep. That is the Barcode being scanned. One more to the tally. 14 kills. Again, top fragging for his team. The pressure has not been telling. What pressure he might say. Killing spree for him. They only require 1 more kill. It was all tied up but a moment to go. But how quickly it can change when the weapons fall in your hands. 1 player set up over towards Arcade. Then will this be the hit? All 4 of Space Station cannot survive. Collect the first man and the last man to fall. And game 2 goes to G2.
A 2-0 series lead to start off our game. G2 not only setting the pace in that game, but also setting the pace in this entire series. SSG looked great in game number 1, at least in the early rounds, wasn't able to close things out. I think they looked great in game 2, keeping it close until about the 40 kill mark, and then G2 flipped the switch. Barcode drops that triple kill, and it was lights out for SSG.
It's those moments, Tony, right? Those pivotal moments in the game where SSG are hanging in there. They're not only hanging in there. Game 1, they were dictating the pace. They had it all their own way at times. But those pivotal moments when it's time to get that flag in, they keep fumbling. Game 1 and Game 2 was a similar story. They were hanging on in there in the series. It was 41-41 at one point. But somehow, G2 have found that extra gear to close out Game 2. And SSG will find themselves very unlucky to be down by 2 here.
I mean, I will give a shout out to KotH for dropping 15 kills in that game. I mean, doing everything he can to try to keep his team in it. I will say 13 deaths a little bit high for a Slayer. Would love to keep that maybe to about 11 or below. But, I mean, it was more than just a stat. Something was fundamentally wrong. SSG were doing a great job of holding off the pressure from G2. In fact, they even found those slays and got up and got very aggressive when the time calls for it. But it was just a turning point play that was made by G2, and I really think that's where the fundamentals, locking down the entire map, feeding that information towards his teammates. You know, a triple kill was nice, but 1 triple earned by 1 player isn't just solely theirs. It's also about the team communicating. It's also about the team putting players weak, staying alive, and opening things up. Barcode gets the triple, and at that point, SSG, they started scrambling. They started looking for an answer. Now you're going into game number 3 with literally no momentum right now. An Oddball Recharge is going to be very tough to beat out G2 with how good their defensive stances are.
For Space Station, then, it's going to have to be a reverse sweep. They're going to take this series because G2, particularly the latter stages of that second game, they found that gear. After that triple kill tying up the game, Barcode and KotH, they went from strength to strength. And now they find themselves just 1 game away from going 1-0 in the pools. We expected this. We talked about how Space Station were going to be the underdogs. But they have given as good as they've gotten at times, but there's still some things to work on. They still have to get the reps in, Tony, because they're missing just something. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, luckily for SSG, they do have Ace on the roster. He's one of the best objective players that we have here in our league, here in the top 8, top 12, and ultimately top 16. He's first on his team as far as caps, as far as ball time, even stronghold captures. So as long as he's able to grab that ball and his teammates are able to play around to making sure that G2 do not find the opening that they're looking for, maybe SSG come out on top. The problem is I just haven't seen it yet.
Is this the moment? Will this be the turning point? Can the global champion drag his team to victory here? Show some more signs of life in this series. Push us, even if it's just a game further. 2 go down, though, for each team. The opening engagement. Space Station, though, have come out on top eventually. Gilkey, last man standing, but he has locked in 1 onto Suppress. Tries to use that shock rifle. Unable to connect with the face, though, but he has done the damage as Space Station down to just 1 final member. And Ace turns his attention to the new boy in Barcode and sends him to the black screen really quick. But G2 have scooped up the ball, so although the opening engagements was a bit back and forth and Slay's not heavily favouring one or the other, they have managed to get the first 5 seconds on the board, and Ace with a little bit of disrespect onto Sab. as he grapples that ball back towards him, almost like Scorpion says, get over here.
SSG with 3 down to Ace, somehow finding 2 kills and that ball time they're desperately looking for. 4 and 1 on the stat sheet, and now demanding this ball. And then I love this rotation come out of SSG to now bring this over toward the C side, away from the G2 spawners. And if the pressure comes in, this ball will be played off the map. But hold on, it's a... Oh my, Shurzy.
Oh, I tell you something, I was worried. As you were speaking, I could see Sab making his way under the underpass in the blue tunnel. And nobody on G2 was able to spot him out. He walks up, Tony, gets himself the easiest triple kill he's ever likely to lock in. And as a result of that, complete momentum shifts for SSG onto G2 now. Sab blows this map wide open. And they continue to score now. 30 seconds and just waiting for the call for his team to play this ball. And here it comes. Ball gets played off. The repulsor will help him stay alive, only for a moment though. Great plays out of Sab. That one play, that one triple kill ensures that they not only take the lead, but they make sure they can reset the map.
And with that, Sab not only playing the ball, but also playing his life, making sure that none of those resources, that repulsor, those power weapons go in favor of SSG. I think that was a smart play. And now we're on board with Ace. Ace was the one to make a play early in the game. Now he has a commando in hand, has a chance to do it again, but Barcode coming in onto the blind side of Ace, finds himself a kill and the opening pick that they need, but 2 down. Go G2.
These teams and trading back and forth. Spacestation find themselves down 2 in the series. After this oddball, will it be G2 with a 3-0 sweep? It won't tell the whole story. It won't say how close it was. But at the end of the day, the history books don't care how close. The scorer line will read the same. And it looks as though 2 members have actually dropped out of the game, which will give us the opportunity, Tony, to talk about the series so far. But not only that, but the strategy's been employed. And it looks as though G2 heavily favouring moving that ball over towards pipes. But we will get a reset here, and a ruling is exactly what score is required for the team, as something appears to be wrong. The momentum, how G2 sucked the air out of the room, and perhaps if you're Ace, you're after doing everything there, you've gotten the ball all the way over to C, you just need somebody to clear underpass. It didn't come, and hopefully things will change. Fortunes will be turned around, and SSG can push us to distance here. Opening engagements have gone in their favor, just like they did before, but can they capitalize on them now?
And just to remind you guys at home, this is pool play that we're in right now. This is to determine the seeding and where you ultimately will place within championship bracket. You know, SSG know what's on the line. They're down 0-2. If they lose one more game, they're now in danger of possibly having a losing record and starting off in, the elimination bracket round 1, elimination round 2. That's not where you want to start off. So SSG know what's on the line right now. It's up to them to execute. You have your own fate in your hands right here, right now. And with SSG starting off with the huge back-to-back kills and once again getting first points, clearly they're ready to come back here.
SSG come into this tournament the 13th seed, bottom of their group. They've already played Lions in the qualifier. They lost to them. G2 second seeded in the group. So games do not get easier after this. You have to take down teams the likes of G2, because there's no easy games in the HCS. Typically in the pool play, you will not get any walkthroughs. And early engagements have gone in SSG's favor, though. They have registered 14 seconds. They are down in numbers for the moment, though. But they're only fresh spawners of G2. Tylenul down to no shields. Not long left for the world. And now Pipes in control of G2. 2 members down for SSG. And kills now slowly turning once more. 4 dead for SSG. And G2 have an A setup.
G2 coming off a spawn and making their presence known immediately. And now we're going to see a lead change once again. A great start for SSG, but the counter comes in for G2, and now they're back in the defensive stance. But hold on, active camo's coming up. Tylenul collector surrounding that camo. G2 do not have the numbers nor the position in order to grab a hold of that, and this could be exactly what Spacestation Gaming need in order to turn the tides once again.
Well spotted. Barcode recognizing this as well. Throws the ball out, smelling danger. Spidey senses were tingling, but 3 go down for SSG, and KotH is the final member, and he does not have the camouflage. And Seb makes that move once more. Underpass, throws the ball out, immediately recognizing, getting the comms. As soon as that shot hit KotH in tower, the communication came. You're not safe. Play that ball. He does so accordingly. 28 seconds now to 14. Sword gives the Shoryuken from Gilkey. 4 dead for SSG.
G2 continue to find these numbers, and now it's Gilkey that's holding down the C side of the map. Meanwhile, Spacestation Gaming spawning up over toward the A side. They're going to try to break through gold. A double push by Tylenul and KotH, but there's not enough room for them to work it. And G2 still looking for the slay. The same for Spacestation Gaming. A little bit of cheeky plays across the map from Gilkey. Tylenul getting the first pick onto Sab. A double kill taking down Straight Sick as well. Gilkey immediately goes to take height, but Tylenul and KotH are rotating this ball away.
Tylenul making sure there's plenty of room for activities as he tries to rotate that ball out pipes, but ultimately meets his demise. Straight Sick now with the shock rifle in his hand. He can be a surgeon at times. You have to make sure to shut him down nice and early as he locks onto Ace, but just misses for a moment. Catches the shoulder blade of the global champion. Barcode then looking down on his prey. Ace will get taken care of. Tylenul will soar into top tower and lay hands onto the Australian. 50 seconds to 19 though. SSG do have ball in hand to start eating away at that lead, but early engagements have favoured G2, but what can Space Station do? Can they hold this setup now?
The lead in favor of G2, but SSG looking to respond here. Off the screen, Straight Sick finding that initial pick once again, forcing SSG to rotate this ball. And now with half the members on the black screen, SSG need the slays, but they simply will not find it. 3 down. Goes straight, so Space Station Gaming, Straight Sick and the boys running through on the gold side, breaking that setup once again. And now they just increase their lead. SSG are struggling with the defense that G2 are thriving with.
Chris Jericho breaks the walls down. Barcode breaks your setups down. As he soars in, 1 nade takes care of 2 members. 3 dead once more for SSG. And Barcode rotating that ball, but being pestered by that final member of SSG and Suppressed, who finally is taken care of. Straight Sick picking up a double in the kill feed. And now G2 only requiring 20 more seconds to secure round 1.
I hate to say it, but SSG, they need to start sending some overextenders. They need to start desperating towards this ball. Time is dwindling down. And Tylenul KotH looking for the opening onto the control side. They're just going to have to bust through and try to win a piv. Ace finds an opening onto Whirlpool, but ends up right into the middle of 2. Gilkey gets himself a double kill. Barcode is going to slay out the last with the ball. And that's it. 4 down for SSG, 1-0 lead in the rounds as far as Oddball. G2 are 1 round away from sending SSG towards the bottom of the pool.
You called for it. You called for the push. They had to get desperate, but like lambs to the slaughter, G2 just waited. And it got a little bit biblical as 4 went down. Now though, round 2. Can SSG put up a better fight here and now? They have it all to do. Down 2 in the series, down 1 in the oddball. If they're to lose this round, they will go down 0-1 in the pools. And again, in the same group with Pioneers, G2, who they're playing right now, and indeed Lions. They have it all to do in this super already. Backs to the walls in game 1.
Starting strat once again going in favor of SSG. G2 trying to answer back. Suppressed and KotH going to be the first ones to go down. And now you're seeing the entire G2 roster surround SSG. The nades are starting to fly. They're trapping Tylenul on Ace over toward the gold side of the map. Blind side coming in. A little bit of a flank. So G2 going to, or Straight Sick specific, they have to go all the way toward the mid map to try to play his life. And SSG answer right back.
Tylenul with 10 kills for his team, 10 deaths. But they have now finally gotten their hands on the ball and starting to eke out, squeak out a slender lead. Ace drops that ball though. 2 members down for G2, so perhaps putting more faith in his teammates to secure that kill, at least quell the push. He's getting pestered once more though. Sab is not trying to make this a comfortable ride. However, Ace looking to rotate that ball as he has done so before. Drops down onto Barcode, and with the help of KotH, they get the kill, they get the job done. 3 dead for G2. Last surviving member is Gilkey, positioned bottom tower. Ace is in trouble though, needs the help to come, and here comes the cavalry now. Opts to rotate the ball back towards KotH. Can he escape with his life? No, it looked for a moment he was going to round the corner, but 3 go down for SSG. KotH, position top elevator, drops down, but it might be ill-advised as he loses his life to Barcode and set up broken wide open.
G2 able to influence those spawns, able to slay out, and now it's SSG spawning from across the map. They're a 25-0 run in favor of Space Station Gaming, but now it's G2. They get an opportunity to answer here. The nade starts to go in, just barely missing out on the stick. Takes down one. KotH gonna have to get out of dodge, able to stay alive. Excellent denial grenades coming in, but SSG refused to be denied.
Camouflage for straight sick. A punch to the back. A melee will be enough to handle KotH. A couple of shots from a teammate. That will take him down to about 3/4 shields. Suppressed is in the crosshairs, but as his camo dissipated, it meant that he was clear and in vision, and Suppressed did not lose that one there. Tylenul picks up Gilkey as well, and perhaps Space Station have got semblance of control, but can they hold it now? There's 2 members down for G2, and Tylenul starts to push out with the shock rifle. Straight sick, the first man to line up and get his hair electrified. 3 members of G2 positioned over towards tower side, looking to make inroads into this hold. Barcode. Ideas of getting towards A and indeed pushing out from pipes, but here comes the G2 push. Gilkey has lost his life, but Suppress has gone down in the meantime, and I like this. Pass the ball off as Tylenul is down to no shields. But what a hold this has been for Space Station. What a score they have managed to put together here. 57-31 as they've taken the lead. And Tylenul picks up 2 more. Shock rifle does pass over though. And again you can see Ace wants to rotate this. He doesn't like standing still. He wants to get his tap shoes on and perhaps bring it towards pipes to his team. The communication has come. Stay A. 2 members down for G2 and 72 seconds and counting. This is much better from SSG.
This game was once tied up at 31 apiece moments ago, but SSG have absolutely taken control here. 74-31 run in favor of Space Station Gaming as they look to take height, and nobody able to contest with Ace. Even alone on the A side, finally you're seeing a push, but is it too little too late as Sab ends up being dropped by Ace. He had 1 in the hole. And with that, G2 immediately starting this push off 1 down, and that's not what you want to see for them to break this lockdown that Space Station have created on the map.
G2, though, they blow the setup wide open now. 4 dead for SSG. And will look to be an impervious hole for quite some time, has finally wilted. And G2 will begin eating away at that lead, cutting away at it. 40 seconds now to 81. G2, can their hold be just as good as SSG's? Over towards pipes, not choosing to keep it in the elevator. As a trade comes through, KotH has sword. And he was in pipes, but only for a moment as he dips out to try and play his life. 2 members of G2, though. The last men standing, and they have rotated the ball just like Ace has done in the initial start of the game. Straight sick gets the ball across then to Blue, and now the opportunity to play it if they need it. And they will not make the same mistake that Space Station did. They have a player positioned underpass to watch and spot out that play. Barcode will drop down once more. Keep eyes on the underpass. Suppressed though, steps out on C-plat. Straight sick. And Barcode handle him. Numbers advantage now, slightly in favor of G2, but only for a moment as Tylenul picks up 2, but Straight sick makes it all 4 dead for SSG. And G2 are going through the gears.
Straight sick absolutely doing it all in that engagement. 21 kills, having a bit of ball time as well, and then dropping that ball to push forward and to keep the pressure onto SSG. What a play by Straight sick. But as I say that, G2 are forced to reset the ball. They do end up going 3 down, and SSG will get first touch on that ball and in first rotation, and love the timing and objective efficiency that you see coming in. Straight sick tries to make a play, but he was by himself. There's only so much you can do on your own.
Barcodes come in once more. Him and Straight sick have been influential for the team. 21 kills apiece, but impressively, Barcode just pushes over that 100-point threshold. Ball time for his team. Not afraid to get his hands dirty. Not afraid to slay. Do the objective, whatever is required for his team. Collect the last man standing. Communications come through. And G2 secure round 2 and 3-0 sweep. They go 1-0 in the pool.
It's really tough to see SSG continue to start games well, continue to utilize their ability to slay in order to control the pace of games, and then continuously choke the game away. G2 in the game number 1. What happens? Drop 1-0. They're overslaying. I said it before. Suppressed and Ace almost outslaying the entire G2 roster by themselves at some point. What has happened? G2 caps a flag into final seconds and then stealing the game away. Game number 2, same thing. SSG have control. Going into that 40 kill mark, it's still up to them. A triple kill comes from Barcode, and G2 steal the momentum again. And even in this game right here, that round, you sit there and make it a 75-31 game, and once again, you let G2 claw the way back into it. You cannot throw these games. You have to figure out how to put the nail in the coffin, how to close things out. And as of right now, we're not seeing that out of Space Station game.
Would the complexion of this series be so much different if they had taken down G2 in that game 1? But time and time again, SSG snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.